All right. Timer done. Press the button, Nick. Done. Countdown. Welcome everyone to 45. Oh, where's my pictures and my stuff? I'm so not in the live stream. Here we go. That's just a little detail down there that was really important. Welcome everyone to 45D Live. Friday, 6 o'clock, 14th November, 2025, and the season's finished. The season is finally finished. It's actually finished. It's actually finished. I've got a little bit of chill music down low there. Tell me if it's okay. Tell me how the sound is going. Right, we've got people joining. Blair's here. Good evening, Blair. How's the weather in Scotland? Nika Wallace is here. Excellent. Vincent's here. Hey, Vincent, how you doing? This feels cool being back on the live streams. I kind of miss it. So look, if you haven't got one already, grab a drink. I don't even know how to use this. Grab a drink, grab a beer, grab a gin, whatever you've got. This was the fastest thing I could grab out of the fridge just before when you saw me go. Not sure if I feel like it, but we'll see. So welcome to the live stream today. This live stream is all about the game is changing. All right, what we said, and I've got notes on this. I've got notes scrawled out here and I'll be looking down at my page because there is a lot to this and I don't want to just be completely rambling on my own, but I do want to be rambling a bit. So we're going to go over companies and online agents that are getting kind of shitlisted by different companies, everything like that, and that a cooperation is being cancelled, things like that. We're going to go over why this is becoming a new challenge for us. Now, I want to be aware, we're not whinging about this, okay? It's all about how the marketing strategy is changing. Now, if you got our email that went over this week about this, which was about, hey, we're going to do a live stream on this, and this is all about undercutting. I think I put the link in the YouTube description to the Facebook post we did about this, but about how the game is really, really changing. So we're gonna go over it. Absolutely gonna go over it. Alexander Savanovic is here. Good evening, Nick. Good evening, Alexander. Alexander, how are you? Look, I'm gonna run the cutscene and then we're gonna get straight into it. There we go. Okay, I've got my buttons kind of sorted. I'm going to have to get back into the swing of things of live streams, so all good. Now, if you are first time here on the live stream, please interact. Tell me where you are. Tell me where you're coming from, where you're watching from, why you're here. I love that. And if you have questions or comments about the live stream or about the topic we're on, then please throw them down, get stuck into that. And if anyone wants to throw out some super thanks, you go for it and I'll buy the crew some coffees and some, well, it depends how many we get. They might get coffee, they might get gin. We'll see. But 2025 has been intense. The 2025 season, our biggest season by far, 100% our biggest season by far. And it's looking like next season's going to be even bigger for us, which is amazing. But going into more charter, more bareboat charters, more crude charters, more luxury charters that we're doing where I don't have to sail, and it's been huge. And along that journey, we have learnt a lot and we've seen a lot of changes in the strategy. Now, this marketing strategy, and if you've got stories or comments about other charter companies you've used or agents in particular that you've used that have been misleading, or misleading is really the word, because I don't think people are blatantly lying. There's some that are doing some pretty bad stuff, but people aren't generally lying. They are misleading the situation and not being transparent. So please put those experiences down and tell us what you're thinking about that. Now look, if you haven't liked the video already, please hit the like or share this with anyone you think would find it beneficial or anything. So I get super distracted. We just got a super chat. $50 from Jason Chaff. It occurred to me recently I never properly bought you a good bottle of gin to thank you for yet another great pepper assist last year. Dude, thank you. That's mental. I love it. I love it. Fucking hell, Jason. Oh man, dude, we gotta chat. Are you coming to Greece? What's going on? Let's talk. Anyway, so The marketing strategy's changed, okay? And I'm not whinging about this, but you guys, I want you to be aware because the game's completely changing. Now, there's a really good title on one of these articles I've been reading that Anna shared with me, which is Blinded by the Favorable Price. Now, I think that's a really good title, Blinded by the Favorable Pricing, because the, oh, hi. You gonna say hello?
What is it?
What's that?
What is it?
I'm talking to the TV, Bum Bum. You can go into the room with Koro and watch it on the TV with Koro, yeah? Blinded by favorable pricing. Now, what this is, there is reports of companies like Boat Around. I'm not just going to drill on Boat Around, but they've got a big part of why this has been written. Offering like 45% early discount on stuff. Hey, she's going to get so many more comments than me. Offering 45% early bird discounts on this. And if you book super early and you pay 100%, then they're going to get 45% off. Now, fundamentally, there's just something incredibly wrong about that. If you can't see that when you're making a booking, it's a really strange one, because you could be someone that could be definitely in a position to take advantage of this, as long as you're very aware of what it could turn out to be. So what do I mean by that? I mean that what's happening with these bookings, right, say you got your 5,000 euro boat for the week and you get paying 45% discount if you pay 100% early. So you're only paying 2,700 euros or something like that. You pay 100% of it now and get that 45% off. Wow, got a 5,000 euro boat for this price. The charter company, in most situations, expects 30 to 50% as a down payment on that boat in order to book it. Okay, so say the charter company was actually running it for 4,500, they're expecting, say 2,000 euros to hold and book that boat. Now, that's why, for one, you've got to pay 100% of the charter fee up front in order to get that price, because they have to pay that 50% or whatever like that. But so they're putting that out for one thing. So then you book your boat and then it goes off. The agent who's putting that out, or Boat Around, whoever it is not paying that money to the charter company. They're not paying enough of it to the charter company. So there's a big problem there, is because they're promising a discount which hasn't been agreed on. Now, the agent's agreement, or every agent has an agreement with each charter company to say, right, we get a percentage discount. A percentage commission. Okay, this is why we do this job, because we get a commission on every sale. Now, this agent over here might get 40 weeks bookings a year with that company, so they get X percent. This agent gets this, and a new agent gets this until they come up to this rate, whatever it is. And then you've got some charter companies that go, right, you get this percent, but we're capping it at this height. So you might sell a 25,000 euro trip on a catamaran, but you don't get your percentage, you get a capped version of it. Okay, so when that,
so it makes it an equal playing field.
Yeah, so it makes it an equal playing field. Okay, so it's like, right, I'm going to sell the boat to you for this much or this much. Now, it's within every agent's right to say, okay, we can add more discounts to that charter out of our commission. All right, so we can say, right, I'm going to add 5% out of our commission. Now, each charter company will allow a certain amount to be added. So some might only allow 5% to be added extra, or some might allow 10% to be added extra, because it's coming out of the agent's pocket. So they don't really care, but the issue is with this price dumping. Okay, so this is then causing this fight, this race to the bottom, so who can get the cheapest price. Now, when I say before it was fundamentally wrong, is because you're getting boats cheaper through an agent, a booking agent, than you are if you go directly to the charter company. Quoted to you, than you go directly to the charter company. Now, that's wrong. It should not be how it goes. the charter company should be able to maintain their price, okay, because they are, when you book directly through the charter company is simply being the agent. So there's still a commission built in. And they're not there to dump their price right down because they're devaluing their boat. So that's kind of a big issue on the fact.
Use the example.
So the example we have, oh, which one? The
one that got undercut us. But
yes. Okay. So that was sort of like looking at them at price dumping 45% ahead. You know, that's crazy discounts and not giving the charter companies. Let's look at another situation over here. We had a direct example. Client comes to us, return client, I think. All right, whatever. Client comes to us because they want to book through us. We quote the boat. We get a good discount from the charter company off the standard list. So it's 18%. Cool. So we offer it to the client at 18%. That's fine. And we send it out to the client. The client says, hey, this is great. Cool, thank you very much. We do our thing, we have our call, and then they book the boat. So the boat's booked. The boat is not available anymore. It is booked. Then the client, as people do, keep searching boats because they're interested about stuff and they're excited about their holiday, and you just keep searching boats till the moment you come through. You've done your booking, but whatever. We're looking at boats. What else is available? What discounts are coming up? He comes back with a search where that boat is still available and is offered cheaper than we sold it to him. And cheaper than the charter company could give it to them. And the fact that the boat's not even available. So this price is basically, one, made up because they cannot sell the boat that cheap. It's not allowed in the contract, everything like that. And two, it's not even available. So someone else is now looking for a boat and going, oh, I'm going to book Felice, the Hansa 460, on the 15th of June because it's there at that's the cheapest price I can get it. So then they go book. Boat's not available. One, it's not allowed to go out for that price because the charter company have set that rule. Two, it's not even available. So this is very misleading from from agents that have got these online booking portals. That's really misleading because the boat's not even available and you can't actually get it that cheap.
But the key thing is, then they come back and say, you can't get it that cheap. Here's a boat. Right?
So the key for that is, you say, okay, well, they've now offered me a boat. I've said I want to book it. I've possibly paid, because they also do this, paid my deposit. So book now, okay, credit card in, whatever, paid my deposit. Charter company now comes back. Agent now comes back. Hey, thanks for your booking. That boat's no longer available. Here's another boat. We've already got your money. Here's another option that you can take. So you're either then going to go through the whole process of refunds and everything like that or not. But this is a very shit strategy. This is just a horrible strategy that people are cutting into to lure people in with these big discounts and these, I mean, that is a lie. That's what I call lying. Hey, we've got and the boat says available. It doesn't say maybe available. It doesn't say anything. It says available. And you go, you book it, it's already gone. You can't have it. You can't have it for that price. Here's another one that's not as cheap or is not the same thing. So that's this is part of the strategy that we're really concerned about. And it's making our job more of a challenge because, of course, if a client comes back to me and says, hey, you kind of ripped me off, I can get it cheaper through these guys. I've got no problem telling people because we are not the cheapest. We will never be the cheapest. I strive to not be the cheapest. I might even strive to be the most expensive. I don't know. We strive to have the best service. We strive to give you as much attention as we can, as you need. We strive to give you the information to translate everything and make sure that what you show up expecting is what you get and more, okay? Not the other way around. So I have no problem to say, when people add that extra 5% or extra what percent off, or, and they cut their commission, cool, that's what they do. I'm 100% okay with that. And you'll get a cheaper price through that other agent. I will not meet those prices, okay? I will not do it. I don't care because I'm not working for nothing and I'm willing to give a lot more. We are willing to give a lot more. If anyone's booked through us, okay, if you've taken a booking through us as an agent and we've sorted out your boat, you'll know, okay? Read the reviews, all that sort of stuff. You'll know why it's a bit different. You get a personalized phone call, you get attention, you get information, you get everything. We have extra services, whatever. That's why we're doing it, because we want to change the system. So I've got no problem going there. If you want to get the cheapest boat, do not come to me. I'm not going to give you the cheapest boat. There is companies I won't even use because of that. But this blinded by favorable pricing, this is a real trap for new people coming in, new charterers to Croatia. So I want you to be very aware of that. I want everyone to be very aware of that they're not comparing apples with apples. When we give you offers from different charter companies, A, B, C, D, all different charter companies, we want to show them on an even playing field. Show them in a way that is comparing apples with apples. Here is the boat. Here is exactly what's included. Here's the price. Here's the extra cost you're going to incur. Same, same, same. Okay? That is really important. So, next thing that happened, what's that? Yeah, okay, we've got 2 more things to share. So I also got an email, one of the things that sparked this today, yesterday, I've got a comment coming in there, who we got? Pay me 100% now, like 6 to 8 months advance feels like a major red flag in any case. It is, Nico. And this is something that in 2023 financial year, Boat Around recorded a loss of 1.07 million euros. Right? And remains silent as to why. Despite a number of inquiries, they will not share any reason as to why they lost. They recorded a loss of 1.07 million euros in 2023. So there's speculation that they're probably using it as bridging finance and advance payments as bridging finance. All that. That's not illegal, but whatever. That's definitely a thing. So it's a bit of a concern. That's different business practice. That's fun. It's just good to kind of understand and know what's going on. All right, next thing is what I was about to say is we received an email from a Greece charter company in Greece that said, attention to all of our people, because we're also an agent, we can rent boats in Greece as well. We don't concentrate on Greece or advertise that we do Greece yet because it's not our backyard. It is not our point of expertise. I'm going to get to know Greece better, and we've just sold this evening another crude charter in Greece that we've been working on for 3 months, whatever, to a client that sailed with us this year here. Cool, that's great, but we don't know. So they sent an email saying, attention everyone, we are cutting our cooperation with Boat Around as an agent, us and one other charter company. I think it was Sail Ionian, whatever it was, doesn't matter. We are no longer going to be using them in order to maintain transparency and stop the undercutting of the prices, okay? Because of X, Y, Z reasons. Basically the profitability of those boats that were booked through Boat Around that year were terrible relative to their other bookings because of these cut things. There was instances where money was not transferred until the day before to pay for the charter to the charter company, even though the client had fully paid. So they are actually cancelling any contract they have with Boat Around, those 2 companies. I've heard of another company in Croatia that's doing it as well, whatever, because of these issues, okay? So that is one of the things that brought this up to us, like, right, I want to make sure everyone knows what's going on here. Yeah, so another thing happened, Zizou. So it's not like these online agents are bad, okay? We're an online agent. No, we're not an online agent. We're in Croatia. That's a bit different. We're in Croatia and we like to rent boats that we know. But anyway, I used to use Zizou. Before I was an agent, I used Zizou for 2 charters, whatever I did. And Zizou, I actually found really good. I found a nice platform to use. I got an okay price, not too much different from everything else. I had phone support when I wanted to call someone. I could get in touch with someone to ask 2 questions. It did happen. Zizou was great. They've just gone insolvent and sold off to another company called Borrow a Boat. So Zizou's not a thing anymore. Probably because they were offering a really good service and they couldn't survive. Might just be how it is. So these places keep changing. And I've got a number of stories like that where people have been sitting with their same agents for years, and they say, hey, these guys are good. We use them because we know them and we understand, and they value us because we're a repeat client, which is good, great, excellent. That's fine. What we feel like the main issue here is, or one of the main issues here, is that there is a need, and there was another article Anna sent me not long ago, as in 20 minutes ago, about needing greater transparency in the market altogether. And Croatia is getting known as very expensive, all right? And it is. And Croatia keeps saying, hey, we're expensive. And yet we keep getting more tourists and more tourists and more tourists, even though Croatia is more expensive. So what there seems to be a need for now in the charter industry, what? Helmet currently has feline available. Wallace, I don't know what that was, is a need for greater transparency and reliability in the charter market here in Croatia. Because that transparency is key with the online agents, not just with the online platforms, with the charter companies themselves, with the whole industry needs greater transparency. So there was an example, I got an email from, let's find this email, in response to our live stream email blast that says, hey, we're going to do a live stream on this. This is from Dilip, and he said, I rented a boat for 2 weeks this year, and it was shit. I asked him if I could share this. He said, go for it. Poor for safety, boat in disrepair, and the company obviously just didn't give a shit. Now, this is not a story about an agent doing a problem. This is a story about a charter company not maintaining standards and selling something that, again, doesn't really exist. So service battery was draining fast down to 4 volts, so the lights at night were dim, and had to start the engine, which was a bad experience. No handles for the swimming ladder, outboard motor not working, so we never used it. Jib is, I didn't understand the small line hanging down, not repaired. Oh, it would have been trailing threads or something, so it was catching on other lines near the mast, and yeah, I know what it means now. Jib was clearly very old and damaged. Lights in the cabin not working properly and all loose. The first bathroom, we sometimes used a torch. The torch wasn't working properly, so that was a safety issue, poor safety. Lines inadequate, good mooring line. One good mooring line length of the boat would have been useful for picking up a buoy on the stern. Toilets filled up and don't know where to stop it backfilling, so that's a non-return valve issue that needs to be replaced. I have to replace them in my boat every year. Maybe twice a year in one of the main toilets, just because that's what happens. And the girl who checked it didn't really know. Pulpit loose and very unsafe. That's a big, big red flag. Shower on the swim platform not working. Speed instruments incorrect. No wind vane on the mast. No pencil or pen on the table. No lighter that worked for the gas. And he says these are basic things and they should be working and available. And 100% and 90% of that could be fixed in 30 minutes just by taking care of that boat. And people are just not taking care. Now, that is, I don't mind saying it, that was Dream Yacht Charter, okay? Now, I'll pick on his comments because he said that's Dream Yacht Charter, who they're now, and a lot of us have called it Nightmare Charter, whatever. We don't use Dream Yacht Charter, period. We do not use Dream Yacht Charter. If you want to book a Dream Yacht boat, you can't book it through me.
We often get asked.
And we often get asked to book them, and I say no. And they're like, why not? Because I certainly can't guarantee you're going to have a good trip when you show up on that, and I cannot have a good conscience about renting you that boat. And he said, I said, look, next time let's work together so you can have a great holiday experience and we'll get you a great boat. And he says, actually, I use a good broker for 4 years, who's been really helpful and always follow up. But your good broker rented you a boat from Dream Yacht. Just saying, I'm just saying. Anyway, and that's the thing. Dream Yacht's in business because I'm sure they do some good business somewhere or something like that, and that's fine. But yeah, we just don't use them because I can't rely on them, and the boats are generally in really poor health.
And it's up to them to choose.
And it's up to who to choose?
The client.
It's up to the client to choose who you're going to use, who you're going to go through, who you're going to trust. All right. What's Wallace saying? Helm currently has Felice as available, and I will take a full payment for 6th of June when you have reserved it for us. Perfect example of what you're saying. That's it. Helm, it's not available for that date because I've got it on hold. And we'll take a full payment for the 6th of June. That's ridiculous. Helm, okay. Helm, yeah. So that's it. We have that under option. It's on hold for us. It can't be paid for. It can't be booked. Yeah, and I know because I got a slightly better discount through the charter company for Wallace because we got good pull with them. That's fine, and we're all interested in the charter being successful. As